Phil Benyon, Liberal Democrat MEP for the West Midlands. Recommendations from the European Commission of best practice really for carrying out fracking, but no regulations being set forth from the EU. What's your reaction?
Well, I think the Commission's proposals that it's made, the principles that it's outlined are in themselves sound, but there's absolutely no compulsion on the Member States to do anything about them. And I think this is worrying. Now, where are we going to go from here? I mean, it could be that the Member States simply decide to let the industry just do what it wants. And I don't think that's acceptable. I think that what we need to look at now is actually how, for instance, the UK is going to respond to this statement from the Commission.
So you have some concerns about this. If it was just left to the industry, as you say it could be, what is the risk of that? Why is that concerning to you?
Well, we know that there are possible problems with fracking in certain circumstances, in particular circumstances, and if we just let it rip and let them do what they want, are we going to have methane escaping into the atmosphere, creating additional global warming? Are we going to have problems with the water supply? Are we going to have problems with subsidence in any areas, and particularly the West Midlands? It's very, very heavily populated. A lot of the identified areas of shale gas are under urban areas. These are real issues that need to be tackled, and they need to be tackled through a proper process, and a process that is publicly transparent.
There's been a lot of lobbying ahead of this announcement from the European Commission. Do you think the impact of this could be a series of wells and drilling starting to appear around the UK, not least in the West Midlands?
Well, actually, I mean, you say there's been a lot of lobbying, but I've not been on the end of any of it. So I can't really comment because I haven't been lobbied, so I'm not even sure who's been doing the lobbying. But I think that I know that the West Midlands has been identified as an area where there are shale gas resources. So I think it's very much incumbent now on the UK government to revise its planning guidelines to local councils, hand over the planning process to local councils, making sure that there is a proper planning procedure so local people can feed into the process, so that local councillors can make their decisions under a proper legal arrangement, as we do with other planning applications, and make sure that the environmental impact assessments take place as they should and when they should, that the drilling itself, the wells themselves are not allowed to go ahead in areas which are unsuitable, and then hopefully we can have a proper process, and we can take into account all of the possible hazards that come with this operation.
Was this a missed opportunity, in your view, by the European Commission? Could some of those safeguards that you're talking about, lobbying for at a local level, could they have been put in place at a European level and seen things in a better shape already?
I think we have missed an opportunity. I mean, the Parliament has made its views clear. We have said there should be a proper process. We've said there should be proper environmental impact assessments before anything can go ahead in terms of invasive operations. Yet this has not turned into legislation. I think if it had been turned into legislation, we could have ensured that all of the Member States take on this new technology in a responsible way, and not in the irresponsible way that some of them might now take forward. I think it is a missed opportunity, but let's hope that at least UK government do the right thing and come up with its own proposals and its own planning guidelines now.
In a few years' time, do you think we'll look back on this announcement today from the European Commission as a turning point that has seen the industry being able to take off in the Midlands?
Well, we'll see. I mean, I know that there's the industry is very well based in the Midlands, but there are some positives if a responsible industry can work. We know that industry is complaining that United States energy prices are a lot lower than ours and that jobs are under threat through it. So I'm not taking a thoroughly negative view, but if we are going to do any of this process at all, it actually has to be safe. It actually has to be environmentally sound. We can't have an energy industry which allows methane to come to the surface. We can't have an energy industry which sees water tables fractured, lost. We have to make sure that this is done right. There might be jobs at stake, but we have to make sure that it's a plus, not a real mess in terms of environmental problems. And we can only do that by proper regulation. And this is why I'm calling now on the UK government to get its act together and get some proper regulations of its own, simply because I think the European Commission here has probably failed us.